do one better. You could show up at a meeting and say it right to them. Ask them the questions and stand there and expect to have your question answered until they refuse to answer your question. I think it's important. We have to get involved. The more people that get involved, the better. That's what keeps government honest. If they feel the eyes and everyone watching them, then they're going to have to, be honest. Work this government with transparency and integrity. Now, I don't question none of City Council's heart. I believe that all of them have their heart for the city. I just believe their agendas at times are different. And sometimes I believe their personal agendas or maybe vendettas, I don't know for sure, come in the way. And that's a bummer. Now, before we close this puppy out, let me there was something that was if you go over to the Truman's Town Hall podcast Facebook page, like the page if you hear this somewhere else and you haven't liked the page yet. Like the page, you'll get updates for this podcast and other random Matt Truman thoughts. Also, you can listen to this podcast on iHeartRadio. When I post it to the Facebook page, it comes up as Spreaker. That's the service I use to do the podcast. Now, you don't have to listen to it through Spreaker. You can, and a lot of you do, and I appreciate you. But you can listen on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, also Spotify. We're on Spotify as well. And I used to put it out on Stitcher. I didn't get a lot of folks listening on Stitcher, so I don't know if it's on there anymore. I think you can, if your explicit filter is off. Mine is not on Alexa because I have little kids, so you gotta censor some things from the little guys. But I believe if you say, Alexa, I'm going to listen to the Truman's Town Hall podcast, it'll play on the TuneIn. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's something, it's like it collects all kinds of audio and it'll disperse it throughout Alexa. And I don't know about the Google Dot. I'm not too familiar with that. I have Alexa. So there you go. You can follow us on Facebook. We're also on Twitter at True Podcast. So you can check us out on Twitter. Not many people respond to the Twitter account, so I don't do too much on there. But the Facebook account is where it's at. Also, this weekend, the weekend edition that I'm starting with state and national politics. Just stepping away from the city politics on those episodes. I'll put one out this weekend, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, but it'll be out this weekend. I'm looking at a few more things with House Bill 123 that was just voted on and passed up at the State House. I want to review that a little bit more so I can talk about that and we can discuss all that. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me at truepodcast@gmail.com. That's truepodcast@gmail.com. If you have anything you want to send me, say you have something that you found out, something interesting, something else we should be discussing on the podcast, or if you would like to come on the podcast and talk about some things, truepodcast@gmail.com. Right now, I'm running a light podcast with it's all through my cell phone. My equipment's in storage. We're going to be moving here in about a month or so into our permanent home. So hopefully that will be done shortly, and I'm going to set something up there. Thanks for listening, guys. I wanted to update everybody on all that information here at the end because there was a question on our Facebook page about, hey, why didn't you tell me about iHeartRadio before? So I'm telling you. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to Truman's Town Hall. Share this podcast with your friends and neighbors and subscribe today.